Hi. I think. Well, we'll see how long this first one is. I think I'm going to chop them into two, but we'll see how long this first video is, and I'll um, maybe put Hankinson with it. So we obviously did Thursday, Friday last week. So Scott, I'll send this to you too. I do this every week, just a kind of a mock up or some plays from whatever the previous or most recent game is, and then just give some feedback on things that I see on the film. This isn't right. Now we're cooking. Okay, first one, play 10. Okay, just depth wise here, this I'm going to start with Scott on this one. Um, you need to be deeper than that kick could be. I'd rather have you come up on it than go back at it. So let's say, like, I think the book says 4 yards deeper, but I mean, I'd rather see you here some back in here someplace. Just so if well, this exact thing happens, that you're not chasing it. I want you to be the first one in the end zone, or kind of officiating it from behind. Then play 18. Yep, this is a me thing. That needs to be called. There's a hold, a pretty bad one here, 25, 26, right there. Um, I, I mean, position wise, I mean, maybe Nick sees that. Um, I mean, that's kind of a tough ask. And I mean, I can't tell you why I don't. I don't know if I get shielded there or if I just uh, pass or whiff or whatever. But there's this is definitely material to the play. So we got to get that one. And I think that's me. Um, it looks a little better from this side, but I mean, that end zone view is bad. Yeah, I mean, wrap up, grab and restrict. I mean, call it what you want to call it, but that one's not good. You got to get that one. Okay, this is the Scott. You throw for block from the back here. Um, okay, so right there, obviously is a block in the back. What I would question is, do we need this one? Um, Now, what I would suggest, I would hang on to this and make sure that this doesn't pop out. Because obviously, if this run continues, then we need it. Like if somehow he comes out of that pile and cuts back against the grain somehow and ends up in this track over here someplace, then that's when we got to get. Otherwise, this is not material to the play. Play's done. Um, and I wouldn't really call this a safety fall. He didn't like I mean, nine actually keeps his feet. If somehow he goes to the ground, I mean, there's a lot of ways we maybe could get to it, but I just don't see that this is one that we need. I would say hang on to this one. Um, like just don't throw right away. If this plays dead right here, then we got nothing. Just come talk to this kid, and say like, hey, keep your hands off or whatever. But I don't think this necessarily needs to be a foul or anything that we need to throw. Now, if this is more violent, I mean, if he jacks him up, if he chucks him up in the air, or really does force him to the ground or something, then yeah, sure. Um, so just when I'm not sure that we totally need in that moment. 55. Not sure why I put this one on here. My note says see the hold. Oh, this must be the one that Nick flagged late, or not late. Um, I think it's him. Yeah, so their flag comes. He's not in the frame, so I don't really know what happened here. Go back to the end zone view and see if we maybe catch anything. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Get right there. Can't be doing that. So really good call, Nick. And judging by this one, like you held onto it for a second to make sure that it was something that was. I mean, if you check from the ground, you can throw that right away. But you did bank it for a second to make sure that it was something that was necessary. Because obviously, I mean, he did it back here, and you waited a fair amount to get that thing tossed. But really good call there. I don't know why it took me so long to see that, but yeah, can't do that. 62 I got. Okay, so here I'm questioning spot a little bit. This is going to give us a better look. So in anytime we're setting the chains, wing guys, what I want you to think, and even our umpires, guys in the middle, I want you to think. All right, so this this looks like 19, no 21. So first, our we're setting the chain at I think the 31. So I want you to think to know that as soon as we set that chain, that if we touch the 21, we got a first down, and then it just makes things a lot easier to officiate from there. Um, I can't see this. So, and the end zone, I don't think is going to give us any better view of that. But wherever that ball crosses the, out of bounds sideline, I mean, it looks to me like he sticks it out. I mean, camera standing right there, so whatever. But what I need you to see is okay. So if he's not out of bounds right here, if he's holding that ball up in play, then I think we have a first down. Difficult. I mean, I do I like this position cam. I think that's fine. Maybe a half step, back towards the rope. But I mean, getting this view of it's really good. But you got to see where that ball is. So if the ball's up, then or out, then go ahead and make sure that we nail that spot. Play 73. Yeah. So I think I saw this live too. This is fourth down, so they're going to decline this. I think that's a little hold right there on 55. So I think this is another good example of give it a second, like let it breathe for a hair. He turns his shoulders, and prevents him from getting to the edge right there. And you can maybe even make a case on 26. Yeah. So that grab on the back of the jersey that kind of forces him to the ground. It doesn't take a ton. If it's right by the ball carrier, then we're going to have a little bit different lens on it than um, whatever the if it's right by the ball carrier, I want it to be a little more ticky tack than if it's just a D end 3 seconds before the ball gets there. Um, that's not a huge infraction there, but I do think it's material to the play. So I think we could have two. I think this one and this one. I don't mind in this scenario that we don't throw this because I mean this is going to be turnover on downs anyway, and they're going to decline. So no big deal. But I at least want to bring it up so we have. It's a really good play to see the difference between when we want to throw and when we don't want to throw. It's not going to take much when we're right by the ball carrier. All right, then I got a couple plays back to back that are tight. 78. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is better. This is super close. And I know we have wind here that obviously we can't really so much tell on the film, but it was obviously pretty windy. So let's say, okay, the ball gets released right here, 43. So if the initial path is forward, like Jake sent that out, Scott mentioned it during the game. If the initial path is forward, we're going incomplete. Really close. Okay, and I only want you to punch if it's back. Okay, I would prefer here, Cam, probably take a step into the backfield so we have a little bit better chance to have an opinion on this one. I know Jake said he punched back, and then this was mine. So Cam had no whistle. I came in and asked. Cam didn't have a very good view of it. I mean, that's a tough spot to have a good view of it from. So then I just said nope, incomplete. Um, I also didn't look back at Jake, so that was probably um, a mechanic thing that I should have done. This is so. Remember the when in doubts. So when in doubt, it's forward. If you're not sure, we're going to make this thing forward. So I want you to be sure that it's backwards. So when in doubt, it's a forward pass. Okay. Now this is next. No, that's same play. No, that's different. Okay. Um, Back to back plays here. So on 79, this ends up he's not going to tell us anything. And so this was Nick killed this one. So first of all, fish in your own pond. That's not one that I want an umpire to whistle on. If I want it to be a wing or me. So I mean, really, Nick, you should be watching for downfield guy. I mean, this pass behind the line of scrimmage, but your initial thing here should be downfield, ineligible men downfield, and you should be walking up towards the line of scrimmage. Not your normal spot. I get that. Okay, so here, let's say probably 41. I think that's going forward. Gets to it 41 and a half or so. Really close. Now you can just see Cam here. Cam, that's bailing early. You don't need to get downfield on that, especially if it's like screen vibe. Stay around, and I'd rather have you catch up in that scenario. You almost got to read the play. So if you try to read screen, um, again, I'd have you step a step or two into the backfield, and then um, having an opinion. You can't have opinion from where you're at there. Yeah, it's just a bit too far downfield. Nick, don't blow that whistle. Let these wings and me sort this one out. As it were here, I think we're good with this being forward, or I am good with this being forward. I'll maybe put it that way. So around the 41, maybe a touch in front of that. I would say we probably got close to 43 right there. And then we're coming back to a little under the 42. Um, Regardless, I mean, it was a decent example of whistle and we're done. Not some. There's no real debate about this. Nick comes in waving, and we're killing that thing. So, I mean, the confidence part is there, and that's good. That's what we need. But I'd rather not have the umpire blowing that one. And I just remember when in doubt, it's a forward pass, fish in your own pond, hold hold your position, have an opinion. Uh, yeah, we're long enough here. I'm gonna kill this one, and I'll make a new one for Hankinson.